Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm so glad to see you today. It's another beautiful spring day. I'm going to be excited about this for a while just because totally need the shift in energy for everybody, I think. It's been a long winter. Snow just kept coming, and it's pretty good that we can finally get outside and get regrounded and get our feet back on the earth and reconnected and our vitamin D levels up and interacting with people and all the things that really are so important to stay balanced and healthy and keep our mood in a really great space. So today we're talking about one of my favorite tools for mood. And I'll tell you where it started out with. Hey, Geneva. I found this tool probably about 7, 8, 9 years ago, right around there. And it was because I would go to bed, and when I'd go to bed and I'd have a headache, I'd make sure that I would take some Advil. Hey, Lisa. And so I would take Advil before I went to bed. And when I woke up, my mood would be really good. I'd be super surprised about this. And I didn't make the connection for a while. I just took it as, happen chance or lucky accident that I woke up so cheerful. And, but then I started to see all of these reports on low levels of inflammation, on how inflammation was affecting heart, was affecting, people were using it to make sure they didn't have another heart attack, to really take care of inflammation. And all of the things which inflammation was affecting. And so I really started to wonder about that and wonder about how inflammation started to change or affect our attitude or our mood about life. And so I started to look at when I would take Advil at night before I'd go to bed for my headache and I would wake up the next day, I started to make that correlation that, when I'm taking this heavy-duty anti-inflammatory, it means that it's keeping my inflammation down, and when my inflammation is down, then my mood is up. Now, why is this? What does inflammation have to do with mood? Well, if you've been watching these for a while, you do know that most of your moods or your feelings, and even a lot of your thoughts, are based on your body. They're based on how you feel. So your nervous system and your emotions are a communication channel between your brain and your body. And most people have focused on, in this whole personal growth realm, they've focused on how your thoughts affect how you feel. But what they haven't focused on is how what you feel also affects your thoughts and affects your mood. So one of the questions I ask myself when I'm in a bad mood or when my energy is off or I'm noticing that I'm having a lot of negative thinking or a lot of negative thoughts is I don't go to trying to control my thoughts, because that's that's almost impossible to try to control what you're thinking. You can observe it, you can validate it, but your subconscious and your mind is so much bigger than your conscious. Your conscious is only like 2 to 3 tablespoons of gray matter. And you've got all of these other consciousnesses in your body, your cells, your heart, these bacteria, all these other parts of your brain, your gut. They all have consciousnesses and information to give you. And so to control your thoughts it's just a really frustrating battle. So what you can control, though, is you can control how you feel by the choices that you make. And so when you do things on a regular basis that keep your body feeling good, then your energy stays up, your mood stays up, your thoughts are much more cheerful. Hey, Tammy. And you're in a much more productive, effective, kind, resilient, patient, smart place. Yes, inflammation affects us so strong mentally. Hey, Beth. And so when you do things that keep your inflammation down, whether it be taking, a daily baby aspirin, that keeps your inflammation down, or whether it's, foods, anti-inflammatory foods, or whether it's movement and activity, or happiness keeps your inflammation down. And oddly enough, When you are under high levels of stress, your body releases a ton of cortisol. So when you're in that angry, ready to fight everything, your body is sending out cortisol, and cortisol is one of the biggest anti-inflammatories. Yeah, turmeric's a great one, and that's become really popular lately. A nice blend of cinnamon and turmeric and all of these great warming sorts of herbs. I worked with someone once who would eat jalapenos every day. And they ate jalapenos every day because it kept their inflammation down and it kept their mood higher. It kept everything on a good spot. So if you start looking at your mood not as a mental problem or even not as something that's being caused by everybody else that's around you, or some, past trauma or past history that you have, instead of blaming it on something like that, let's make it a little bit simpler. That your mood and your thoughts are usually based on how you feel. And if you do something that makes you feel good, if you do something that's healthy for your body, it's also going to make your mood better and your mind better. Now, this seems really simple, but in the world that we're in, we're so distracted by all of these other things that we can't connect these dots. We haven't been given the opportunity to say, oh, when I'm not in pain, I'm more cheerful. When even these low levels of inflammation that we don't feel or may just come out in a little bit of achiness or a little bit of tiredness, that inflammation, your red flag for that, your signal that there's a problem is your mood. If your mood is bad, stop looking at your thoughts, stop looking at what everybody else, what your environment is, although those have a big impact, and look at what you can physically do that your body will like. Because your mood is just that conduit between your mind and your body. And so if you notice it and you pay attention to it, then you can actually ask yourself, what can I do? And then you end up feeling better. So my suggestion is 2 things. One, if you really need a quick fix and your liver can handle it and, all of those other things, take some Advil if you need a mood shift. If you need a mood shift now or you need a mood shift for the next, let's say the next morning. If you want a more consistent sort of thing, do anti-inflammatories. Hey, Monica, so the anti-inflammatories can be a daily baby aspirin, they can be turmeric, they can be cinnamon, they can be jalapenos, they can be walking, they can be anything that keeps your inflammation in check. Because if you can keep it in check, then your mood is going to be so much better. Not just because it's hard to be nice when you hurt, but when your body's unhappy, it's going to tell you in a lot of ways. And the way that it mainly tells you is through your mood and through your thoughts. So pay attention to them and make smart choices. So here's your homework assignment for today. I want you to find something, whether it be an herbal tea, an anti-inflammatory tea, or a food, or some other anti-inflammatory something that you like that works for you. And I want you to pay attention to how it may affect your mood. I want you to pay attention to if you do take an Advil, if you do go for that walk and do something where your inflammation is down, correlate it with how you will feel either during, or if it's a food or Advil or something, it'll take a little bit longer, in a few hours or the next day. Start making that connection, and when you do, you'll have one more really fabulous tool in your toolbox to help manage all the negative energy that's coming at us and all the craziness that we're dealing with, okay? So I would love it if you would like this, share this, comment on it, and be a part of this great tribe, because when I hear from everybody, it keeps me motivated and validated to be the anchor for this great group of women, okay? So I hope you have a great rest of the day. I hope you get out and enjoy the day, and I will see you I'll see you tomorrow, because tomorrow's Friday. Bye.